What's going on, everybody? My name is Lush and welcome back to another episode. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting from my newer content. I love you guys, I see you guys, and I'm doing my best to reply and to engage in the comment section as much as possible. But for all of you who are really supporting my new content, big shout out to you guys. I love you guys. You're the reason why I do it. I have been following a subreddit as a new parent. I've been following a subreddit called Entitled Parents. And this is actually a topic that really interests me. I stumbled upon a post that I wanted to share with you guys and read out a little bit like story time and kind of see what's going on here. And I really want to know what you guys think about it because it seems pretty crazy. I haven't read it thoroughly. I've only skimmed through it, but the title is Entitled Aunt Gets Upset Because Her Adult Children Won't Wish Her Happy Father's Day. Oh, I think entitled is the right word here, just at face value. But here we go. On my ex-boyfriend's side of the family, there is the most entitled of aunts. She gets upset about the stupidest things and is highly opinionated. Uh-oh. Oh boy. On Father's Day, my boyfriend's family were having a big lunch at the boyfriend's mother's house for Father's Day. The aunt, we will call Donna, was on her phone texting her two grown sons and was making a ruckus. Making a ruckus through text. I can only imagine how aggressive it was. She puts her phone down and turns to her sister, my boyfriend's mom, and loudly says, "My boys won't wish me a happy Father's Day." What? What? Father's Day? But you're the mom. Everyone hears this and stops, turns and faces her. We all look dumbfounded by her comment. I look her in the eyes and say, "Why would they wish you a happy Father's Day?" She starts to cry and says, "But I raised them as a single mother, and their father was too useless after we divorced." Wow, okay. Her entitlement seems to be really aggressive here, where she's actually trying to gain credit for Father's Day as well, even though there's already a Mother's Day and she probably receives all the credit. I'm not entirely sure, but she definitely seems like the type that keeps tabs on everything and is taking score between her and the kid's father, which is never a good idea. So the storyteller says, yeah, that still doesn't make sense on why they should wish you a happy Father's Day. And then Donna says, "But I did both jobs when they were growing up. I was the mother and the father." I roll my eyes and say, that's really stupid. I'm sorry, you did both jobs while they were growing up? Like, literally? Are you sure about that? Because it seems like they're just getting your side of the story as how the father was quote unquote useless after the divorce. If the kids truly felt that way, then maybe they'd agree with you and they wouldn't realize how ridiculous your claim is. I don't know, that's just me. If you can actually claim that the father played absolutely no role in their lives and the kids are completely dependent on your mother-father role position in their lives, well then they probably would have just accepted your rationale, but clearly they're not, and it's showing the worst side of you and you seem to be throwing a tantrum. And besides, let's say you did play both roles. Let's play this out for a second. You were a great mom and you did your best to fulfill that male role in their lives. Good for you. But even still, why would you feel entitled to have Father's Day as well, rather than just putting a greater emphasis on Mother's Day? It makes no sense. It's like this weird personal vendetta, entitlement / debt that society owes you, or even still your kids owe you. It seems like you're imposing this onto your kids, which is a terrible thing for a parent to do, and even further proves that you are probably not the best mom to begin with. I don't know, that's just me, gut feeling here, but I think the father was in their lives at some capacity, which is probably why they're declining your request to be wished a happy Father's Day, and they probably realize just how cuckoo that all sounds. She runs off to the bathroom to cry. She loves being dramatic. I go sit down on the couch and see her phone. I open it and see the texts to her adult sons. They don't agree that they should wish her a happy Father's Day. I ignore Donna for the rest of the lunch and leave without saying a word to her. Whoa! I don't actually agree with the storyteller opening the aunt's phone and going through the texts. I think that's an invasion of privacy. But I mean, I can only imagine how curious she was to see what that ruckus was all about. This is really interesting in terms of somebody feeling so entitled and wanting to capture an entire day that's supposed to be dedicated to one parent and trying to take full credit because of the way they perceived their role in the kids and they perceived their contributions to the kids. That's really interesting. I mean, not to take anything away from the hardworking single mothers out there that are really putting in that work and playing the role of both parents. I totally get that. And there's a lot of single fathers out there that are doing the same thing. But I can only imagine what this situation would be like if it was a father feeling entitled and saying that Mother's Day should be his as well. I really don't think that would rub people the right way. And so we need to apply that same logic to the aunt here who's trying to claim Father's Day for herself. And plus, Father's Day is a really good time where if the father wanted to reconcile with the kids, if there was an opportunity there to build a better relationship, why not give that opportunity to both the kids and the father rather than trying to make it about you and trying to feel as though the world owes you something? It's not a really good example that you're actually setting for the kids. And what seems to be like a public environment, it seems like a lot of people didn't agree with her anyways, because she seemed to be throwing a public tantrum about it, which kind of speaks to her maturity levels. But if she insists on having Father's Day, hey, I mean, who am I to disagree? You can have it, but then you actually relinquish Mother's Day. You can't have both. They're both there for a reason, and I'm sure she's well celebrated on Mother's Day, or maybe not. And it seems as though she feels a lot of people are in debt to her, and so that entitlement thirst can never be quenched. And this is probably just a small indication of how she carries herself throughout her life. That misery and that entitlement seems to be an ongoing issue, just based on what I've read so far. Anyways, that was my Reddit story. Thank you guys for listening and for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Entitled or not? Should she have Father's Day or not? And if so, why? If not, why? I can only imagine Aunt Donna on Christmas completely bashing Santa Claus and saying that it should be her day as well. Screw it, let's also give that to her.